Kate Sarsfield at the Air Charter Expo, and we're giving you our snapshot of the key things we found most interesting at today's show. Kate, tell us about what's happening in the air charter industry.
All I can say is the air charter industry is booming. The atmosphere on the show floor, in the conference room was very, very positive. In fact, I've not seen it this positive for many, many years. What's particularly wonderful is that the business the charter market managed to attain during the COVID pandemic, when people turned to airlines, turned away from the airlines rather, in favour of business jets, that customer base hasn't gone away. They've stayed with private aviation. Airlines haven't got themselves back up to normal again. They're suffering with skill shortages. They're suffering with scheduled shortages. I mean, the whole airline industry is on its knees. So people are stuck with the charter market, all those that can afford it. And there are brokers who are telling me today that they've seen a 40% year-on-year increase, not only in inquiries, but in business, and a 25% increase in business since pre-COVID days. So that's all good stuff. I mean, even TAG Aviation, with an 85-strong fleet, said its aircraft are working full tilt. Ergo, the Piaggio P180 operator, their aircraft are working full. Zenith Aviation too, the list is endless. So the vibes are positive, the industry is positive, and it's all good news.
That sounds amazing, Kate. Are there any headwinds that we're seeing in the industry?
Again, it depends who you talk to. For most people, they're saying that they're cushioned by the new customers that have come into the market since the COVID pandemic. This whole new mean customer base they have now, this swollen customer base hasn't dissipated. And on top of that, of course, they've got a whole new business coming back from the corporate community that left the industry during the COVID pandemic, switched to Zoom fatigue set in, and corporations are now saying, I want to go back to face-to-face meetings with my customers. And that's what's happening. So from that perspective, no. Some customers are saying, yeah, inflation's increasing, 10% in some cases, maybe getting longer. The sterling US dollar exchange rate, really tricky for some customers. And they're concerned they've got to pass on those costs to their customers. But for others, they're saying, well, it's a wealthy customer base and they can absorb their costs. So all in all, I think the vibe is good, and I think it's going to remain good for some time to come.
That's great news.
You're also in the conference with me today, and what would you say from the whole conference agenda, what was missing from that? What topic would you have liked seen discussed today that wasn't?
The key thing is the huge skill shortages. You alluded to it with the airlines. What's happening is we've seen a lot of people exit the industry during the pandemic, and they're going to work for Amazon, they've gone to work in the automobile industry, and now getting those people back, or that talent back into the industry, is a real pressing challenge. We're seeing aircraft, I've heard from one of the brokers that actually getting your aircraft through the pre-buy checks, they're stuck, they're not able to keep up with demand because they haven't got the people to perform the labour. And I spoke to JMI, who are based at Oxford, and they've actually had to go to Newcastle, where they've brought young people in to start working at the beginning end of the industry. And that's incredible, because in Newcastle, the schools and colleges there are saying they can't actually get placements. And that story played out with Stansted Aviation College, who told me also that people are unwilling to bring young people on at a time when we've got this real challenge in the industry to keep buoyant. So I think initiatives like the British Business and General Aviation Association's talent, skills, retention that they're working with the government on are going to be critical going forward. And I'm very interested to see how the industry deals with this disconnect between young people wanting to come in and placements that are seemingly unavailable. So I think that's a topic we can continue to visit.
Absolutely.
Hey, sustainability, greenwash, or a real thing?
It's a real thing, of course. The industry is very aware of the optics. There are people who are very wealthy flying around on private jets. particularly high-profile celebrities who say one thing maybe and don't do another. They're saying the industry, although it's only accounts for 0.014% rather of CO2 emissions globally, it still has to be doing something. It still has to show the world that it takes the net zero target of 2050 very, very seriously. The Air Charter Association today launched an initiative. They've joined forces with a company for 4Air, and they've created some carbon offset programs for their members based on demand. Their members have asked for these programs, and there's an array of different programs that their members can choose from. Glenn Hogden, the CEO of the Air Charter Association, is very aware that it has to be done, it has to be done now, and they have to take it seriously. Other operators say to me, off the record, oh my God, sustainability, blimey, it's so expensive. None of our customers want sustainable aviation fuel because it's too damned expensive. But it will change. It will change, it will move. Customer attitudes will change because I think they'll be forced to change. And I think in 10 years' time, we'll find that most people will have sustainable flights in one way or another, whether it's through carbon offset, through sustainable aviation fuel, and eventually long-term, maybe even hydrogen-powered aircraft and electric-powered aircraft. But there's definitely a will there, definitely determination there, and I think the industry will make great strides over the next 10, 20 years.
On that note, Kate, I caught the very end of the eVTOL panel, where the panel were actually questioning the young people in the audience about whether they'd be interested in flying these aircraft and whether they saw a possibility of a career in the industry. Very interesting discussion. It seems to be that the ease of access and the ease of entry into these new types of aircraft, it's going to be quicker coming than we think, and young people are very interested. So, Kate,
All positive. All positive.
All positive. Kate, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
If anyone wants to find out any more about any of the companies, go see their websites, go visit the Air Charter Expo website, and thank you very much from us for having us.
Thank you.